Hello, powerful one. Welcome to this edition of Inner Growth to Sewa Elimi. I am going to talk about something that I have spoken about before. It's called meditation. But today, the question is, why meditate at all? A lot of people are wondering what their life's quests are. What is my purpose on this earth? And there is this query that keeps nagging at people's mind. They just feel that the reason for which they are on earth has to be something special. But well, in an attempt to explain why meditation is essential to our human life, I will go into some esoteric knowledge that we can call from ancient religion, from ancient beliefs, from ancient understanding of the world. And that is the understanding that there are four worlds available to us. Four. Under the Jewish mystical religion called the Kaballah, they have this understanding too, that there are four worlds. And these words are broken down as one, the word of emanation. Then we have the word of creation. We have the word of formation. And then finally, we have the word of action. Now, if you were to look at all of these, taxonomy, this breakdown of words, would you be seeing it as heaven, all of that? Where is the point of action? What is action? Action is the event that creates effect. That is what action is. By acting, we are creating effects. Now, this is to be understood and not lead to confusion. Now, this is it. We have the word of the emanates. You can call it the word of emanation. You have the creative word. You have the word of creation. Then you have the word of form. And then you have the word of action. At the top of these words, you have the source. And it is from the source that the emanate word came into existence. That is to say, life didn't come out of nothing. That life came out of the source. Call that the Almighty God, if you want to use that word for it. Call that the uncaused cause, or the first cause, if you wish. But that is the Almighty, the source. From the Almighty came the word of emanate, or the word of emanation. This word of emanate was not created. It directly proceeded out of the source. Would it be proper for us to call that word the word of spirit? Let's hold it there. Then we come down to the next word, which is the word of creation. The word of creation directly proceeded out of the word of emanate. And then from creation, you have the word of forms. The word of forms came out of the word of creation. Then beneath form is the word of action. Now, at the bottom of action is effect. So, at the highest height of existence, we have the source. And at the lowest form of existence, we have effect. Now, let's understand this. Just as the emanate is a direct proceed of the source, so also is effect the direct proceed of action. To act is to create an effect. To be acted upon is to be effected upon. The game of life is to create effects. Now, when you look at it at the topmost level, the Almighty generated a reality out of itself, or themselves, or herself, or himself, whichever way to look at it. The truth is this: all the sages of all the ages could not imagine a world that came out of nothing. It has to come out of something. There must be a cause for there to be a reality or effect. So you can therefore say that emanate is the effect of the source. Now I want to let you understand this. Just as emanate is the effect of the source, so also is creation the effect of the emanate, and form is the effect of creation, and action is the effect of form. Of course, effect is the effect of action. See that gradation. Nothing exists of its own accord. Everything must come out of something else. It is a word of causation. So if you look at it again, from the top down, emanation is caused by the source. Effect at the lowest level is caused by action. That which can be actually seen in this environment is form. And now the shape, the complexion, the attitude that is given to form is called an effect. This is one thing. When you enter into action, you create effect. Effect binds the actor to action. So every effect you make has its own consequence, a fallout. So for you to consistently be of relevance, you have to keep creating effects. That is what the game is all about. Now, in order for the human being to stay in action, it has to have a form. What is that form? Form is that which is brought into existence by creative exercise. There is no form without a creative universe. And there is no universe at all without the emanation. All is a product of the source. When you are in the world of form, you are connected to action. Because it is through form that action takes place. And when the human being carries out an action, what follows that action is an effect. Now that effect could be pro the purpose of the person, of the actor, or it could be contra or against the purpose of the actor. Remember that when you create an effect, you are bound by the effect because the effect is directly linked to you. Now you become a cause. At what level do you become a cause of action? Is it at the form level or at the creation level? Because form is giving shape to creation. Form is that which can be seen. Creation, you don't see it. It is energy manipulation. And when energy has been manipulated into a level where you can perceive it with the senses, it becomes a form. Now, this is what I want to tell you. At every level, from the source level all the way down to action, consciousness, that is the love content of life, is being compressed. Reduced. From the source to emanation, the love content is massive, is huge. From emanation to creation, the love content reduces. From creation to form, the love content reduces further. And at the level of action, the love content is very small, which also means that the capacity to command at the level of action is also weak. So when it gets to effect, it's as flat as anything. It's less than 2D. It's flat. There is nothing there. It's just a consequence of action. And action is really not a creation. It's an exercise of form. Now, what is effect? Effect is the product of all mental and physical exertion of form. The mental and physical exertion of form is called action. Now, anyone who intends to take action for the purpose of creating an effect must have a form. Now, when you take an action, you create an effect, and the effect binds you to your form. Meanwhile, your actions bind you to your effect. The manipulation of your formal energy is action, and every action must be followed by an effect. Like I said earlier, your effect is either pro-life, that is to say it enhances you, or it's control-life. In other words, it debases and reduces you. But understand one thing, that at the level of action, the content of love is weak. That is, consciousness is weak. In the same way, energy is weak and power is weak. What is action? You know what it is already. These are the things you do. Now, when people ask themselves, what is my purpose in this life? A lot of the times, they are thinking of action. That thing that they do that creates an effect on other forms. The action that you take is in relation to other forms. Action is an event carried out by form on form. Then it becomes a game. Action is a game. And the consequence of the action is the effect. Because we want to know the purpose of our being, why we are here in this world, we are running after effect. Anything you can see with your eyes is an effect. All right? Anything you can hear with your ear is an effect. The music we play, the houses we build, the technologies that we invent, the works that we do, the houses, cars, the estates, the cities, the countries, all that we build, the bridges, all of them are all effects of the actions of form. When form exercises itself, actions are created. And when actions are created, effects are formed. A lot of the times, when we want to make sense of our lives, we rush after effects. But that in itself, it makes us forget our identity and our origin. We don't remember the word of emanation at all. Because the first action we took gave us an effect. And that effect bound us to the action. And the action bound us to form. And we cannot see beyond the form. We begin to see the form as us, as our lives. Meanwhile, from the word of emanation down to action are inside of us. They are parts of our being. Even all four words, emanation, creation, formation, and action, do not fully describe us. What actually fully describes us is when you merge all together with the source at the top of it. Then we talk about a human being. So you can see the human being as a manifestation that contains deity. So when people say that human beings are gods, they are not making a mistake. Or if you want to say goddess, they are not making a mistake. But when you are thinking at the level of form and you think God, whatever is beyond form is what you see as God. This is where the palaver of deity, of divinity comes into play. Because whatever is above form has a higher love content. And therefore, every human being sees that as God. This is why we say there are multiple gods in creation. There are many gods in the world above form, the transform word. Transform, above form, meta form word. There are many gods. But you see, you as an entity, you are not defined in effect, you are not defined in action, you are not defined in form, and you are not defined in emanation. You are defined in the source. Action is good when we have established our form, because there can be no action without a form. So before you act, you have to ask yourself, what form am I taking to act? I always be saying that out of the be, do, and have, the be, you can see it as form, the do as action, the have as effect. For you to get to the point of effect, you have to have a form. Form in all of these things, it only generates action. But for form to have essence, to have meaning, it has to go back to creation. Because it is in creation that form has meaning. And creation has meaning in emanation. Emanation has meaning in the source. And all of this chain of relationship is what you are. You are complete when all of these things are traced and locked into one. So at the level of form, that is in you. At the level of creation, that is in you. At the level of emanation, then that is you. There is no force in the universe that is higher than you, that is stronger than you, apart from the source. So you begin to understand that in all of this, your goal is to break the seduction of effects. Because when you focus your attention on effects, oh, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, an engineer, a politician, a farmer, a nurse, whatever it is, a soldier, a police person. These are all aspects of effects. They are not you. They are coming from action. You have to do something to get these things. Our actions do not come from physical exertion. They happen at the mental level. And the mental level must take a form. That means you must define. You must give a form of higher energy to yourself in order to be able to carry out an action. Because you are in the world of action, you are lost in form because you see the form as you, because your eyes are on the effect. Because your eyes are on the effect, you cannot see beyond the form. Because you cannot see beyond the form, you worship whatever is above form because that thing is grand as far as you understand. But in order to break all of these things, the seduction that binds us, because when you want to carry out an action, you must have a form. For you to have a form, you must be in creation. For you to be in creation, you must be an emanate. But hardly any of us even consider the top levels, creation and emanation. We are completely lost in the world of form, action, and effect. And then we become lost in totality to our true essence. This is where meditation comes. Now, I mentioned some beautiful things about what effects are, but I didn't mention the negative side of them. You know the negative side of effect? Crime, sicknesses, lack, poverty, fear, wars, pestilence, recessions, depression. All of these things come under the negative side of it. Now, because the power of effect is overwhelming, it forces us to take more actions, either to neutralize or to validate an existing effect. And locked in that, we are very, very, very attached to form, because when we stay in form, we are now able to carry out effect. That is when I say staying in form, now we see it as staying alive. Staying in this body, we're able to carry out an action. Form has different levels too. For you to be, for example, to carry out the action of a doctor, you have to take the form of a doctor. And you will spend years to study to take that form. You catching it? Now, for you to become a soldier, to carry out the effects that soldiering, that being a soldier carries out, you have to take the form of a soldier to carry out the action that will bring about the effects. But a lot of the times, when we are thinking of effects, we only think about action. We want to, what must I do? That's the word. What must I do? Even when it comes to salvation, what must I do to be saved? In the world of action, there is no power. Or rather, the power is very weak. It cannot take you up. Action only brings you down. This is why we say action should not be the be-it-all and the end-it-all of life. You need to transcend action, at least, to be in the level of form. But let me explain this now. You can transcend action and stay in the level of form. What is that form? You can see that form as a prototype. That which makes all the manifestations of the lower world easy. That is the form you have to take. And it's within you. This is why I keep saying that your feeling is your action and your reality. Reality in this lower world is effect. So for you to be able to get to that point, you have to develop a feeling that is congruent, that is in line with the effect that you want to create. But this is the terror of effects. When you are creating effects bind you to your action. Your actions bind you to your form. In order to be in action, you must stay in form. So the game becomes cyclical between form, action, effect, action, form. That's how it goes. Round, rigma, rolling, round. That's how it goes. You really do not see beyond the other levels. Now, when people who have had experience beyond the form People who are not very scrupulous, they've had experience at the creative region of their being, they subjugate you, they rule over you. But how do you break free from the tyranny of form, action, and effect? This is where meditation comes in. What is the meditation all about? You have been in the theater of action for so long because your eyes have been locked on effects. The effects to create and the effects to avoid. You want to create the positive effect and avoid the negative effects. Other people are creating effect through their actions, and you are deflecting all of them so that yours will be plain. Then the game of the world is so thick that if you don't stay in action, you are lost. That's how you see it. But what meditation does is for you to pull out for a moment from action. Pull out from effect. So what you do is take out a tithe of your active space. Take out a tithe of it. That's 10% of your active space to observe your effects. Observe all of them. What are they all about? By observing all your effects and you do not identify with them, this is it. Do not ever see yourself as the doer of these things, because you are not responsible for your form, you are not responsible for your creation, and you are not responsible for your emanation. Who is responsible for all of these? The source. Therefore, if you cannot begin to see your actions and your effects as responsibility of the source, you are just the corridor through which all of this flow. Don't you think that your life will be much better? To be able to think this way and feel this way, meditation comes into play. You sit, observe all the effects for what they are. Do not identify with them. What then happens is that you will transcend effects and you come to the world of action. When you come to the world of action, you also observe without identifying with action. You will transcend the world of action. Then you come to the world of form. All right. Now you will observe the world of forms, and without identifying with it, you will transcend the world of forms and you come to the world of creation. When you get to the world of creation, you do the same thing. Observe, observe, observe. The secrets of all of these levels are being revealed to you as you are observing them without identity. Then you transcend the world of creation, you get to the world of emanation. At that point, you see yourself as pure and beautiful spirits. Your intention again is not complete. You must not identify. You must transcend. When you transcend the world of emanation, you will get to the world of the true one, the world of the source. And because you and the source are one, because you came out of the source as an emanate, you blend with the source. And then you could actually understand that life is actually only one game, and that is the game of realizing the source. So if you ask me, what is my goal in life? What is my purpose of being? I will tell you to realize the source. It's as simple as that. I don't know if this has made any sense. Maybe I have been in the air all along. I don't know if I actually landed. But you see, what this is all about is that you need to understand that you are an infinite possibility entity living in a multi-dimensional universe. All of these dimensions of the universe are all within you. Each of the dimensions of this universe defines an aspect of you. While you are not the effects, the effect is a product of your action. Action, form, creation, and emanation can actually define you at certain levels. But effects never define you. So why would you kill yourself? Why would you strap your life around effects? Some people say the purpose of my life is to become governor, to become president, is to become a doctor. These are not your purposes because they are not part of you. They are the consequences of being here. They are accidents of existence. Actions also are not you. All right? That is why we say don't jump into action. At least live in the level of form contemplation. It will help you. I don't know what else I can say right now, but this is it. Your life is much more powerful than you think. Don't toy with it. When things are not working for you at the level of effect creation, understand that there is a higher level to go to acquire the capacity to make the effect level work. And that higher level is the level of form. Take the shape of the effect maker that you want to become. Take that shape mentally. When you become it mentally, you've created a form. And with the form, you can step into the world of action. And once you step into the world of action, effect is the easiest thing to achieve. If you want to be able to lift 50 kilograms of weight, you don't just go straight to the weight and lift it, which is the action. You don't go straight to it. Otherwise, you will break your back or your spine will snap. What you will do is to go and acquire the form over a period of time. You will train. You will build your muscles. You will first of all break down the weak muscles that you have been carrying and start creating new muscles. From there, these muscles become stronger, more disciplined, more resilient. And when that muscles have been formed, then you now go to the weight and then you start lifting it. Now, when you lift the weight, that is not the end of it all. That weight lifting will also build your muscles and make them stronger for the next challenge ahead. That is how it goes. And if you get intoxicated by the process, you are lost in the world of weightlifting and you don't see any other word again. That is how our lives are. It is to overcome the seductions, the illusion of this form action effect that meditation is recommended by the sages. When you meditate, you gradually break free from all of these levels and then you break free all the way. That's what it's all about. If you don't understand all of these things I'm saying, maybe it's too esoteric, maybe it is too deep, maybe what you should do is just try out meditation. Maybe over a period of time, as you keep meditating, you're able to catch what I'm talking about. But for those of you who are asking me, what is my purpose in life? This will answer your question. Your purpose can never be found in the world of effect. A doctor, an engineer, can be found there. Your purpose cannot be found in the world of action. It cannot be found in the world of form. But you are coming close. Your purpose is to transcend effect, action, form, creation, emanation, to blend with the source. That is your purpose. And you might say that one is grand. The easiest way to understand is to say, whatever you do, whether in thoughts, in words or action, that brings pleasure to others, for which you are not interested in the gain of it. That is your purpose. You can convert your action and your effect creation exercises to that and ascribe this to the source, because the form with which you are taking out the action was not done by you, is of the creator, is of the source. He made it possible. You know, there's a lot I can say about all these things, because when you talk about creative word, you have a creator God in charge of that word. In the world of form, you have a form maker that's in charge. In the world of action, of course, you have the word of control. So let's not go into all of those things, okay? But understand this, and when you do that, then it is well with you. Until I come your way again next time, please stay blessed. I'm not asking you to share this video because probably people will not be able to understand it, but I felt I should do it and I have done it. Whoever finds it communicative is blessed. If you don't find it communicative, you are even blessed, because you need to be able to understand all of these things. Give meditation a try. This is what I want you to understand. If you've not understood any other thing, is this: all the confusions, all the pains, all the sufferings, all the heartaches of life are cured by meditation. Like my master would say, your meditation is your medication. That's what it is. Try it and you see the beauty of it. If you don't understand what meditation is, check on my channel here. At least I've done a video or two on meditation. You can watch those videos and they will give you an explanation. Until I come your way again next time, stay fresh. Stay renewed. Your personality is subject to reformation. So keep reinventing yourself until you attain. God bless you.